we are back with another episode. It has been 364 days since that fateful day a year ago, when I had to marry the one person I never wanted to marry. And even though we were supposed to get a divorce after a year, it looks like this cruel twist of fate has kept us together. So how is that possible? Well, let me explain. My father was a simple, hard-working man, but he made the mistake of getting into business with the wrong people and ended up owing a large sum of money to the Blake family. As a result, his company went bankrupt and our lives fell apart. But what they didn't count on was my determination to make them pay for what they did. I studied hard, passed the bar, and got myself a job at one of the most prestigious law firms in the country. My goal was simple: use their resources to take down the Blakes and get my revenge. But there was a problem. See, my dad had made a promise to Mr. Blake before his death that I would marry his son, Ryan, if anything happened to him. But I wasn't about to let that happen. So I went to Mr. Blake and told him I wasn't interested in marrying his son, but he didn't care. He said that the deal was the deal and that I had no choice but to honor it. I tried to fight him on this, but he wouldn't budge. He even threatened to go public with my dad's debt if I didn't agree to the marriage. I was desperate, so I took the deal. And that's how I ended up marrying the one person I never wanted to marry. Ryan Blake, the son of Mr. Blake, the man who destroyed my family. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why didn't I just call off the wedding at the last minute? Well, I did try, but Ryan stopped me. He said that he knew why I married him, and that he was going to make things easy for me. In fact, he gave me an ultimatum. Marry him and sign a prenup that would allow him to take half of everything I owned if I got a divorce. Or don't marry him and watch him destroy my family name. I was desperate, so I signed the papers and married the man. Now, here's where things get really interesting. You see, Ryan isn't the bad guy everyone thinks he is. Sure, he's arrogant, self-absorbed, and a bit of a jerk, but he's not a bad person. In fact, he's actually really sweet, caring, and generous. The more time I spent with him, the more I realized that he wasn't the monster I thought he was. And that made it even harder to hate him. On our wedding night, I tried to make love to him as a way to get closer to my goal. But he stopped me and told me that he wasn't ready for that yet. He said that he wanted to wait until I loved him. And then he actually proposed a deal to me. He said that he would help me get revenge on my father's enemies if I agreed to give him 1 year of my love. I was shocked. I couldn't believe that he was willing to help me. But I agreed to the deal, and that's when our relationship took a turn. For the next few months, we were the perfect couple. We went out to fancy restaurants, traveled to exotic locations, and met all kinds of important people. Ryan introduced me to his world of luxury and power, and I loved it. It was everything I had ever dreamed of. At the same time, I was also able to get close to his father and the rest of his family. And they all seemed genuinely happy for us. I mean, who wouldn't be happy for their son or daughter getting married to someone as beautiful as me? Just kidding. But yeah, I was really happy with how things were going. Then out of nowhere, his father called off the engagement and gave me an ultimatum. I had to either get pregnant or get out. I was devastated, but I knew that if I wanted to keep Ryan's family happy, I had to do something drastic. So I faked a pregnancy and they were overjoyed. They threw me a baby shower and I even started showing off fake baby bumps. I was so committed to my plan that I actually started to believe it myself. I told Ryan that I was pregnant and he was shocked. He said that he never knew this could happen and he was sorry, but I didn't care about his feelings. All that mattered was getting revenge on his father. But here's where things took a turn for the worst. See? Mr. Blake had put a lot of pressure on Ryan to have a child. He wanted to make sure that his bloodline would continue. And he was willing to do whatever it took to make that happen. In fact, he even hired a private investigator to spy on Ryan and me and make sure that I was cheating on him. But here's where things get really crazy. The private investigator reported back to Mr. Blake that I was unpregnant and that meant I was kicked out of the house. Ryan was furious, but he had to listen to his father. I was heartbroken, but I knew that this was all part of my plan. I had to make Ryan suffer in order for him to understand what it felt like to be betrayed. But then something unexpected happened. Ryan came after me and asked me to marry him again. He said that he didn't care what his father thought, and that he wanted to be with me no matter what. I was shocked. I couldn't believe that he was willing to give up everything for me. But I knew that this was my chance to get back at his father. So I said yes, and we were married in a small ceremony. Now, here's where things get really dramatic. After the ceremony, I went to my apartment only to find Ryan waiting for me with a suitcase. He said that he was moving in, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, I knew that he liked me, but I didn't think that he was actually in love with me. But then, he leaned in close and whispered in my ear, "Oh, by the way, I moved into your apartment." And that's when I realized that I had one. I had made Ryan Blake fall in love with me, and he was mine forever. The end. Next episode, coming soon. Stay tuned for updates.